If you're a man over 60, you've probably noticed it. Your energy isn't what it used to be. Mornings feel slower, your stamina's fading, and your confidence, well, it's not where it once was. But here's the shocking part. The very vegetables you think are healthy might be silently wrecking your blood flow, hormonal balance, and even your erections. Yes, certain vegetables, especially when eaten at breakfast, can disrupt testosterone levels, spike insulin, and inflame your body, killing the very systems that keep you feeling like a man. In this video, we're revealing the 7 vegetables you must avoid for breakfast and explaining the science behind how they affect blood circulation, nitric oxide, and sexual health. This isn't hype. This is real, and it's affecting millions of men. If you care about restoring your vitality and performance, you're going to want to watch every minute of this. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Understanding erections and blood flow. As men age, one of the most noticeable and often distressing changes is the gradual decline in sexual performance. This isn't just a matter of psychology or lifestyle. It's deeply rooted in biology and physiology. Erections are the result of a complex interaction between the nervous system, hormonal signals, blood circulation, and psychological arousal. Central to this process is the ability of the body to move blood efficiently, especially into the penile tissues. When aroused, the brain sends signals to release nitric oxide, a molecule that triggers relaxation in the blood vessel walls, allowing them to dilate. This dilation increases blood flow to the penis, leading to an erection. However, as men age, the production of nitric oxide naturally declines, and the blood vessels themselves lose elasticity, making it more difficult to achieve or maintain an erection. At the same time, testosterone, the hormone most closely associated with male libido and sexual performance, also begins to decrease steadily after the age of 30, with a more noticeable drop after 60. Low testosterone not only reduces sex drive, but also affects muscle mass, mood, energy, and the body's ability to repair and recover. The endothelium, which is the thin layer of cells lining the blood vessels, plays a crucial role in this entire process. When this layer becomes damaged due to poor diet, high blood pressure, lack of exercise, or inflammation, it can no longer function properly. This leads to a reduced ability to dilate blood vessels and compromises blood flow, not only to the penis but to the heart and brain as well. Another overlooked factor in aging male health is insulin resistance. As men get older, many begin to develop resistance to insulin, the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar. Insulin resistance contributes to inflammation, arterial plaque buildup, and hormonal imbalances, all of which negatively impact circulation and sexual function. Furthermore, chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels, common in older adults, suppress testosterone production and impair blood flow, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break. The foods a man eats have a direct impact on all these processes. Certain foods can support the production of nitric oxide, improve endothelial function, and naturally boost testosterone, while others, including some seemingly healthy vegetables, may do just the opposite. The timing of meals also plays a role. Since testosterone levels tend to peak in the morning, consuming foods that support this peak can enhance performance, whereas foods that suppress hormones or spike insulin may blunt it. This is why understanding the science of erections and how blood flow is regulated is the first step in reclaiming vitality and improving overall quality of life after 60. Chapter 2. Vegetable 1. Soy-based vegetables like edamame or tofu scrambles. Soy-based vegetables such as edamame, tofu, and other soy derivatives are often praised for their protein content and heart-healthy benefits. However, they can pose unique challenges for men over 60 when consumed regularly, especially at breakfast. These foods are rich in phytoestrogens, which are plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the human body. While these compounds may benefit women in certain ways, they can interfere with testosterone production in aging men. Morning is typically when testosterone levels are at their highest, and consuming soy products during this time may suppress this natural hormonal surge. Phytoestrogens bind to the same receptors as testosterone, potentially blocking the action of this essential hormone. This hormonal interference can gradually lead to reduced libido, fatigue, and a decrease in sexual performance. Additionally, soy can affect thyroid function in some individuals, particularly when consumed in large quantities over time. A sluggish thyroid can indirectly contribute to weight gain, low energy, and a weakened sex drive. For these reasons, older men may benefit from limiting soy intake in the morning and focusing on alternative sources of protein that support rather than suppress testosterone. Chapter 3. Vegetable 2. Raw kale and broccoli. Raw, cruciferous vegetables such as kale and broccoli have earned a reputation as superfoods due to their nutrient density and antioxidant properties. However, when consumed raw, particularly in juices, smoothies, or breakfast bowls, these vegetables may cause unintended side effects. They contain compounds known as goitrogens, which can interfere with the body's ability to absorb iodine and disrupt normal thyroid function. This is especially concerning for older men, as the thyroid plays a critical role in regulating metabolism, energy levels, and hormonal balance. A poorly functioning thyroid can slow down the entire body, leading to fatigue, weight gain, and reduced testosterone levels. For men over 60 who may already be experiencing some of these symptoms, consuming raw kale or broccoli first thing in the morning could exacerbate these issues. The solution isn't necessarily to eliminate these vegetables altogether, but to prepare them in a way that reduces their goitrogenic effects. Cooking kale and broccoli lightly helps deactivate these compounds while preserving their nutritional value. For breakfast, it's often better to choose more digestion-friendly greens or save cruciferous vegetables for later meals. Chapter 4. Vegetable 3. Excess garlic. Garlic is widely known for its heart health benefits and anti-inflammatory properties. It has been used for centuries as a natural remedy to lower blood pressure and boost immunity. However, consuming raw garlic in large quantities, especially in the morning on an empty stomach, can lead to unwanted side effects in older men. Garlic is a natural blood thinner and can irritate the stomach lining, potentially causing heartburn, nausea, and digestive upset. For men taking blood-thinning medications or aspirin, this combination can increase the risk of internal bleeding. Moreover, raw garlic can interfere with certain medications and may alter the body's response to them. In terms of sexual health, the inflammation and digestive discomfort caused by excessive garlic intake can disrupt overall wellness and energy levels, both of which are important for sexual vitality. Instead of consuming raw garlic in the morning, it may be better to include it in cooked meals later in the day, or to opt for gentler morning herbs and spices like ginger, turmeric, or cinnamon, which also support circulation without the harsh effects on the stomach. Chapter 5. Vegetable 4. Too much onion. Onions offer many health benefits, including their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. They're a staple in many kitchens and are often added to a variety of dishes. However, consuming too much raw onion, especially on an empty stomach, can cause digestive discomfort such as bloating, gas, and acid reflux. These symptoms can be particularly troubling for men over 60 who may already have a slower digestive system and heightened sensitivity to acidic or pungent foods. Furthermore, chronic digestive issues can lead to poor nutrient absorption, including zinc, a mineral that plays a vital role in testosterone production. Low zinc levels are commonly associated with decreased libido and reduced sperm quality. For men concerned with maintaining energy and performance, it's important to avoid foods that compromise gut health, particularly in the morning. Cooking onions softens their chemical structure and reduces their acidity, making them easier to digest. Including onions later in the day, rather than at breakfast, may help older men maintain better digestive and hormonal health. Chapter 6. Vegetable 5. White potatoes. White potatoes are a comfort food for many and often find their way onto breakfast plates in the form of hash browns or home fries. However, their high starch content and high glycemic index can be problematic, especially for older men. Consuming white potatoes first thing in the morning causes a rapid increase in blood sugar levels, followed by an insulin surge. This spike and crash cycle can lead to insulin resistance over time, a major risk factor for erectile dysfunction. Insulin resistance reduces the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and negatively impacts nitric oxide production, which is essential for healthy blood flow and strong erections. Additionally, many breakfast potato dishes are prepared with unhealthy vegetable oils, which promote inflammation and arterial plaque buildup. These conditions restrict blood flow to the extremities, including the penis. For a healthier morning start, men over 60 should consider switching to complex carbohydrates like sweet potatoes or whole grains, which provide sustained energy without spiking blood sugar. Chapter 7. Vegetable 6. Eggplant. Eggplant is another nutrient-rich vegetable that offers several health benefits, but it also belongs to the nightshade family, which includes tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes. Nightshades contain a compound called solanine, which may cause inflammation, joint pain, and digestive discomfort in individuals who are sensitive to it. While these effects are not universal, older men with pre-existing inflammation, arthritis, or gut issues may find that eggplant exacerbates their symptoms. When fried or heavily seasoned, as in many breakfast recipes, eggplant's potential inflammatory effects can be magnified. Solanine may also interfere with nerve signaling and contribute to muscle weakness or fatigue, both of which can affect performance and stamina. For these reasons, men over 60 who are experiencing chronic inflammation or digestive challenges may benefit from avoiding eggplant, especially in the morning. Substituting with anti-inflammatory vegetables like zucchini or bell peppers, if tolerated, may provide similar flavor and texture without the downside. Chapter 8. Vegetable 7. Canned tomatoes or tomato sauce. Tomatoes are a versatile and nutritious fruit often included in breakfast recipes, from omelets to avocado toast. However, canned tomatoes and tomato-based sauces can pose specific risks to older men's health. The acidity of tomatoes, combined with the presence of additives and preservatives in canned varieties, can lead to acid reflux, especially when eaten on an empty stomach. Over time, frequent acid reflux can damage the esophagus and affect overall digestive function. More concerning is the presence of bisphenol A, BPA, a chemical often used in the lining of canned goods. BPA has been shown to mimic estrogen in the body, disrupting hormonal balance and potentially contributing to lower testosterone levels. For men over 60, who are already dealing with reduced testosterone, this additional hormonal interference can be significant. Whenever possible, it's better to use fresh tomatoes and avoid consuming acidic foods at breakfast. If tomatoes are a must, they should be paired with whole foods that buffer acidity and avoid triggering reflux. Chapter 9. Why breakfast matters more than you think. Breakfast is more than just the first meal of the day. It sets the tone for hormonal balance, metabolic function, and energy levels. After several hours of fasting, the body is especially sensitive to the nutrients it receives. Testosterone levels are naturally higher in the morning, making it an ideal time to support hormonal health. However, the wrong food choices, particularly vegetables that disrupt digestion, spike insulin, or mimic estrogen, can blunt these benefits and undermine a man's physical and sexual performance. A well-composed breakfast can enhance mental clarity, stabilize energy, and promote optimal circulation. In contrast, a poorly chosen breakfast can trigger inflammation, hormonal imbalances, and digestive discomfort that lingers throughout the day. By understanding the role that specific vegetables play in either supporting or sabotaging male health, men over 60 can make informed decisions that protect their vitality. Avoiding the 7 problematic vegetables at breakfast is not about fear, but about strategy, choosing foods that work with your body instead of against it. When approached thoughtfully, breakfast becomes a powerful tool for boosting health, performance, and longevity. Call to action. Now that you've reached the end of this eye-opening video, ask yourself, how many of these foods have been sneaking into your breakfast without you even realizing the harm they could be doing? If you're over 60, you know how precious energy, performance, and confidence are. You've lived long enough to understand that your body sends warning signs, and ignoring them only makes the situation worse. But the good news is, it's never too late to make a change. Today can be the first step toward reclaiming the vitality and strength that truly defines who you are.